Picture new sounds, or not new, they've been around for the last 7.5 years in the house, daily. They appear to come from outside, like if you go outside, you can usually locate the sound, and it's usually local. But it's all too artificial, or too set up, or too continual to be real, or to be just random. It has to be sound being used to keep human motions, how you think and feel, very low all the time, because you've always got strange sounds or artificial sounds, mechanical sounds coming into your house. You know, where you live, where you should have a place away from street noise, say, for instance. And also the street noise, everything is extra loud wherever you go. That's how you know that it's a system and a program that certain types of humans are participating in. They're a civilian force, a civilian community that is really united and combined, whether that be through mind control or a conscious allegiance to a particular god or whatever. Don't know. It's nearly dark. This sound shouldn't even be legitimate, still be going, because when it's dark, you shouldn't, they shouldn't be able to keep doing work, because, it has to be between certain daylight hours. But it's nearly dark. That's why you can't see the picture on the wall, which is why I was showing this old picture that's been on the wall ever since I've lived here, which is like 30 years. So I've stayed in this place for 30 years because it is a government-controlled house. It is government low rental housing. So that means that, it is controlled by the government, or by the powers that control the city of Sydney and the country of Australia, shall we say, because I'm in the city of Sydney, in the country of Australia, in the suburb of Leichhardt. And, I want to go up and have a rest, a lie down, but the sound is, loud, or at least, sometimes it's much louder than this, which is impossible, as they say. But then the planes will be going right over the roof of the place, if I go upstairs to lie down. And they can legitimately go for another 5-6 hours. So, that's just part of the sound suppression system around me, because, you say it's a system, because of course it's a system, everything's a system. Traffic is a traffic system. It's all controlled, you have lights and things, everything is a system anyway. It's just that you probably don't realise, if you're a human being, how controlled and how closely you're monitored around you. You think it's like just a system that's not really watching you individually and directly, whereas it actually is, because human energy is needed for the survival of this matrix. And that's, if you understood that, and if you believe that, then you understand why they have total surveillance on you, and why they are tracking you and always suppressing you to get the negative energy from you. In other words, why human beings are never allowed to be happy. Or at least if you become happy, they will immediately bring in some circumstance or some event or some sound or sight program around you to make you unhappy. so that they can keep getting or keep farming your human energy. They say that this earth is really just a human farm, that we're just like cattle to the powers that be that actually control earth. And that's something that most people don't believe. But when it comes out and suppresses you daily, in other words, when they can't suppress you and keep you at low vibration through what appear to be normal, natural circumstances and normal, natural human relationships, and when you become aware of the nature of the vessels for this control system, in other words, a lot of human beings are extracting the energy around me on behalf of the powers that be. So they're like human vessels that are working for the powers that be, whether they know it or not. In other words, whether it's through direct mind control, where they allow possession so that they can perform and surround the human beings to get this energy for the powers that be, which serve the God entity of earth, Lucifer, the God of earth. Because everything in earth appears to be light. In other words, the powers that be, well, it appears to be light and dark, and they basically get human beings to play in that light, dark human mind game. In other words, they want human beings to always be searching for the light powers that be, or the light ones to follow or believe in, or or a god to worship that they think is a god that is a god of light for them. And then they will see other things as dark. But really, that's just part of the game. Because Lucifer was always seen as a being of light, the God entity, and the disciples and powers that be and world stage players that serve Lucifer, the original God of light, was really dark for a human being, because it needs the human energy. It has to have the mind control and the transhuman set-up program connected to the human mind so that it can control the whole earth reality through really, I guess, through a form of mind control. Because if you're deceived, if you believe wrong things, or things that you think are of light and are for you when they're really, keeping you low, because you could believe in something that you think is light, and it may appear to be the truth, and it may tell you the truth, but if you're still not happy and on top of the world, shall we say, then they're still getting what they want. So it's hard to explain, but it's like it's like pretending to be of light while really being of dark. A bit like having a friend that pretends to be your friend, and they're your shoulder to cry on. You tell them all your worries and all your stress, and you feel good telling them, but they don't actually help you to solve those problems or to feel better. So they're a friend that you think is a friend of light and helping you, but really they're secretly enjoying hearing your sad stories and your distress and feeding off it. That's an example of it, which takes place usually with most of your personal relationships in your life.